Good morning, my people, and welcome to another episode of Dan Corrects a News Article, as I like to call it. I'm just providing a public service and helping people. A lot of these news reporters are getting their facts wrong, and so I've decided to take it upon myself to help them get their articles right. And eventually, I'm going to have to start charging. There's just so many wrong articles, it takes up a lot of my time. So, in today's crap article, it's called Trump Tells Violent Far Right Group Stand Back and Stand By. Okay, so first of all, Naomi Nix at Bloomberg figures, right? But at least on the upside, Michael Bloomberg has a lot of money to pay Dan for editing his stupid articles. You might want to put me on your staff. That's all I'm saying. My fee is $350,000 a year, but and this is from today, Wednesday, September 30th. So, first of all, Naomi, what your headline should read is Trump tells, you can call them a far right group, they're not violent. Stand back and stand by because they are needed. I'm just saying. Remember what quashed the Portland riots this last time? When the Proud Boys said they were coming to town, then the mayor and governor, the mayor, who Black Lives Matter and Antifa members surrounded his own condo, attacked people coming in and out where people were afraid to live there. So much so that he was forced to move to an undisclosed location. But they'll find you, so it is what it is. So it says President Donald Trump urged a violent far right group to stand by during a heated exchange over race relations in America while debating Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden. So what that should read is President Donald Trump urged a group. I won't even say, well, I guess they are kind of far right because nowadays, if you fly the American flag or love America, you're far right. And that's a very dangerous game to play, Democrats. So we'll go with the far right. Asked by moderator Chris Wallace to disavow white supremacist group and right-wing militia, Trump said sure, actually he said it 3 times, but refused to explicitly do so. And he instead said, who would you like me to condemn? Which is a very fair question. Because for all I know, Chris Wallace could have been talking about the Klan, the KKK. When Biden suggested the Proud Boys, a far-right neo-fascist organization, Trump said they should stand back and stand by. Standing back is a good suggestion. They should not be mixing it up with these rioters, these Antifa and BLM people. But you see biting through the Proud Boys out there. Well, seeing as how one of their leaders is half Cuban and half black, if they are a racist organization, they're not very good at picking their leadership. One of the things I got hit with was those are skin folk, not kin folk. And just because you heard some black politician on CNN use that term, doesn't mean you have to go around repeating it. Because understand that black politician has probably sold out the black community 1,000 times over. That's what you got to look for with politicians. So actually watch their policies, don't watch what they say. And that goes for all politicians, Republican, Democrat, Independent, doesn't really matter. Watch what they do, not what they say. That's a pretty good suggestion through life. So the article goes on to say, on Wednesday, Trump spokesman Hogan Gidley said the president had condemned white supremacists in the past and had also done so at the debate. He said sure 3 times. He has done it in the past multiple times. Gidley said to CNN, I don't know how many ways you want him to say it and how many times you want him to say it. But Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, the only black Republican in the chamber, see, here's what they do, right? You're bringing race into everything. You can't get past America's history of racism if every time you turn around, somebody's bringing race into it. See, that's what the liberals do. That's what they've been doing. They want to throw race in there every time. I think he misspoke in response to Chris Wallace's comment. Scott told reporters in the Capitol, he was asking Chris what he wanted to say. I think he misspoke. I think he should correct it. If he doesn't correct it, I guess he didn't misspeak. Goes on to say the Proud Boys organization started in 2016 by Vice Media co-founder Gavin McInnes to fight political correctness and a white guilt agenda, according to the Southern Poverty Law Center. Actually, that's not true at all, and I'll tell you why the Southern Poverty Law Center is wrong. Gavin McInnes did start the Proud Boys, but he started them to fight political correctness. I've seen the statements. Go back, check the Joe Rogan show, check Tim Pool. They're on YouTube. You all should know both of those by now. And they'll tell you the real reason and real way that the Proud Boys started. It had nothing to do with white guilt. The group had participated in rallies across the U.S., including a violent clash with protesters in Portland, Oregon in 2018. They also attended the Unite the Right rally alongside other white supremacist groups in Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017. Actually, the Proud Boys weren't at Charlottesville. They were not. So that's just is what it is. The clash with protesters in Portland is when Antifa crossed over the street to attack the Proud Boys, and the Proud Boys responded by defending themselves. Following the debate exchange, members of the Proud Boys were celebrating the president's comments on platforms such as Parler and Telegram. I've never even seen those. Joe Biggs, a Proud Boy supporter on social media who organized Antifa protests in Portland, posted, "This makes me so happy." The post was viewed 12,000 times in 2 hours and spread across mainstream platforms. Biggs soon followed up the post with the logo adopting the president's debate night statement as a Proud Boys slogan. It was viewed over 9,000 times and in an hour on Parler. I gotta check out this Parler. I have no idea what it is. But that is true. I did see it has the Proud Boys logo. Over the top it says stand back. Under the bottom it has stand by. I did see that. In response to Trump's comments, Anti-Defamation League Chief Officer Jonathan Greenblatt tweeted that Trump owes America an apology or an explanation now. That's working on the assumption that the Proud Boys are a racist organization. And when there's many blacks and Hispanics and having a half black, half Hispanic leader, I really don't think they are. It'd be kind of it would be like me being the grand dragon of the KKK. It doesn't happen. Trump said the real problem is with the far left anti-fascist movement known as Antifa, which the president has called a terrorist organization. Biden responded by referring to recent comments by FBI Director Chris Wray that Antifa is an ideology, not an organization. They're an LLC. They are an organization. BLM is an LLC. It's an actual organization. And what that means is somebody's making a lot of money off these people. Yeah, you're going around burning, looting, rioting, killing people. You could have said, I guess, the same thing about the Nazis. It's just an ideology. It's not an organization, whatever, until they took control of the German government. Chad Wolf, Trump's nominee to lead the agency in charge of curbing domestic terrorism, told senators earlier this month that white supremacists have become the most persistent and lethal threat to the U.S. from within the country. Does Chad Wolf even watch the news? Cities are burning. Seattle, Portland, Minneapolis, San Francisco, New York. Actually, of all those cities, I say just kind of let them burn. To me, that would be the most dangerous threat. I mean, people are dying. People are dying. I haven't seen one person killed by the Klan yet. You know, the white supremacists really need to step it up. You're kind of slacking. I definitely haven't seen anybody killed by the Proud Boys. So, I mean, I don't know where they're getting this from. Everything I see is from the left wing, not the right wing. Trump said somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left because this is not a right-wing problem. And he is absolutely correct. After the debate, the Trump campaign tweeted clips of him previously condemning racism in the Ku Klux Klan. So it's kind of a medium article. I didn't have to do that many corrections on it. Maybe I'll just, not charge him for this one. I don't know. But that is absolutely correct. I mean, it is a left-wing problem. It's just gotten out of control. But when you have leftist leaders, see, because they feed off this, encouraging it, like I said, when people are losing their business, people are losing their lives. That's very serious. very serious. Now, as far as I go about protests and riots, I believe it is a person's right to march in the streets, peaceably assemble, and protest. That's your First Amendment right. So we have to be very careful when we're stepping on rights. First Amendment, Second Amendment, Third Amendment still stands strong. You're not quartering any troops in my house during times of peace. Little Third Amendment joke. But I believe very strongly in protesting. If you see an injustice, it is your right to protest against it, and nobody should stop that right. We shouldn't Trump. We shouldn't step on other people's constitutionally guaranteed rights. That's the bottom line. But when it comes to rioting, now you're burning down house. You killed a retired police officer. You shot a 73-year-old black Trump supporter in the back. Or you stabbed him in the back. That's not rioting anymore. That's crime. So for BLM, I would actually say if they got Antifa out of their mix and restarted their protests, I think they would be more well liked. I think they get more approval. So like, same thing I come down on with athletes about kneeling. And hey, go ahead. If you want to wear a T-shirt that says Breonna Taylor and Black Lives Matter, go ahead. That's your First Amendment right. If you want to kneel, that's your First Amendment right. I'm not going to interfere with your right to free speech. I would never dream of doing it. Now, you can't force me to watch your program if that's what you're going to do. So all that comes with consequences. Like I said, that's why one of the reasons I love the whole John Wick series so much. It's the thread of consequences throughout that show, or throughout those 3 movies. There's always consequences. Actions come with consequences. And those consequences may be, hey, if you're at a protest that turns into a riot and you choose to stay and you get arrested, then that's on you. It's not on Dan. So, hey. So thank you for watching this episode of The Dan Dawson Show. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe. Do what you got to do.